You are listening to WPHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Paranormal Pride. We will visit only with the best investigators, location owners, demonologists, researchers, inventors, authors, mediums, psychics, and enthusiasts. Anyone with a love or interest in the paranormal, the supernatural, or the unexplained will be meeting here on Mondays at 8 p.m., 7 Central. Welcome to the Paranormal Pride. I'm your host, Denise Pridemore. I hope everybody has thawed out a little bit. I know we haven't, but we're hoping that everybody down in the South has survived their tornadoes, and prayers for all those that are missing someone or has lost someone down there. We're really very concerned about everybody. I was concerned about Kat, knowing that she lives down there in Alabama. And up here with all the cold, we are having excessive cold in Kansas and Missouri. So please keep people in your prayers, and please check on the elderly and the sick and make sure that they're okay in this time of excessive cold. I would like to welcome my guests tonight, Darknite Paranormal Society. They are out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And for those of you who don't know, well, we know where Fort Smith, Arkansas is because we've been down there. You know, we go. I'm going to ask you some questions about some places that we know. So,
okay.
But my husband's family's from Lincoln, Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
So we know some of the area more closer to Fayetteville and all that than where you're at. But
yeah,
we know enough. We know enough.
Yeah, Fayetteville's
not
only
far
about
from us.
Maybe 30, 45 minutes from us. We're a little bit further south of Fayetteville, but
yeah, unless you're running from the cops, and then it's 10.
right?
That too. That works.
So, not that I've ever done that, but it makes for a good conversation, though, to start out, right?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
So, I want to go ahead and let you guys start. Dwayne, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll go with Sharika. Right? Sharika. See, you told me and I still forgot. And then we'll go to Lauren. So go ahead and please introduce yourself to the audience so they'll get to know you a little bit.
All right, everybody. My name's Dwayne Holmes. I'm actually the lead investigator of Darknite Paranormal Society. I've actually been doing this longer than my team, my fellow team members. They're still experienced as well. They definitely... But I've been doing it a little over, right at 6 years in May. And actually I'm not going to go into grave detail because I want to give the other two a chance to share their story. But kind of what got me started in the paranormal aspect of things. I lived in a house back in 2013. Back in 2013, where I actually had several paranormal encounters. Things like doors opening in the middle of the night that were locked by themselves. They were unlocked and open. Nobody else had a key to our house or anything like that. We'd hear children running through the house at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Things of that nature. Now, I've always had an interest and been somewhat of a believer in the paranormal aspect of things, but I still had a lot of questions, and I reached out to a couple local groups in my area. A lot of them were buttholes.
Oh.
But I did find one known as Spook Earth Paranormal, based out of Arkansas, and he was kind enough to let me go on my first official investigation outside of trespassing in cemeteries. But at the time, I didn't really know how to go about getting investigations set up and such. But So then I joined Spook Earth. My first investigation was at a place known as the Old Arkansas Hospital, which Sherika and Lauren both love as well. We call it the miniature version of Waverly Hills, located here in Arkansas. But no, then after that, I just kind of took off. I was with them for 4 years, and then I decided that we was going to start Darknite Paranormal Society, and we've come quite a ways since starting Darknite Paranormal Society. Got almost 8,000 likes on Facebook. Some of our live feeds have hit over 15,000 views, so I think we've come quite a ways in this almost 2 years. April will be 2 years as Darknite.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. My name is Sherika. I'm the one of the co-lead investigators, also the researcher in Darknite. I've been with Darknite little over a year now. And I don't know, Dwayne talked a lot. I forgot all of what he talked on. What got me started, from a very young age, I've had different abilities. I didn't really start exploring any of them until about a year and a half ago when I got with Darknite.
Tell them about your experience.
Which one?
That really brought you into the light on your abilities.
I don't like that subject.
Go ahead, tell them.
All right, since he brought it up, the experience he's talking about is about the cemetery.
No.
Okay, that one. I don't like talking about that one either. When I first started opening up to my abilities and using them, I didn't really trust a whole lot of people because, everybody's, oh, you're crazy or this or that. I halfway thought I was crazy and thought I needed to be in a mental institution. But I was reading Dwayne one night and I kept sensing a little baby, and they're asking different questions, and I finally figured out who the baby I was seeing was, but I didn't feel comfortable in telling him what it was or who the baby was. But come to find out, it was one of his spirit guides. That's actually his daughter that was never born. She passed away during a miscarriage.
Oh.
And yeah, I didn't want to tell him. It was really hard for me to, some other things is he had a cut on his foot that really nobody knew about. It happened when he was a small child, and I hit on it, and he's like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "I don't know how I know that. I just know that."
I understand.
But it's
strange when you just know.
It is, and for the longest with it, because I grew up in a very Christian home. My dad's a pastor. I wasn't ever told that any of it wasn't real. I was just, it was swept under the rug. We didn't talk about it. It's following the devil and doing the devil's work, things like that. So I was put on a lot of different medication, a lot of different counseling, different things like that growing up. And then once I got comfortable with it and started acknowledging it for what it really is and accepting it and learning how to use it and control it, I went off medication, don't see any counselors, and I'm happier now than I've ever been.
Well, glad to hear.
So, but yeah, when I first started, I kept questioning, I need to go to a mental institution. I need to go checked out. There's something wrong with me. This ain't right. I was the one doing it. Nobody else around me. But with the help of Darknite, I've been able to explore it and understand it and learn more about it. And I'm still learning. I'm far from where I need to be. But that's a little bit about my story.
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you think that you're going nuts and you're saying, hey, I think I might need help, more than likely you don't, because you're sane enough to be questioning it.
Yeah.
It's the people that don't question it that are going, that probably need a little bit more help, from what I've seen. So Hey, Lauren, would you like to tell us about yourself?
Yes, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
my mic being weird. My name is Lauren. I'm also another co-lead of Darknite, and I have been with the group probably a little over 2 years, if not the mark 2 years. But, well, I didn't have anything like Sherika had. I mean, I've had a couple experiences when I was younger, but nothing like, extreme where then after probably when I got like a teenager, I started getting really interested in the paranormal. Like I started watching all the shows, all the TV shows, and it became really interesting, but I never really did anything because I was always scared of the dark. I'll admit it. I was scared of the dark. Okay. I kind of still am when we go in these places a little bit, but, I was always afraid to do it, but met Dwayne. He got me into the group with Spook Earth, and I think I was there for like when I came in, it was like a month maybe, and then we started Darknite, and I love it. It's like a hobby, but it's exciting. I love doing it. That's all I think about. It's weird, I know. That's all I think about, and I love doing it because we can help people. I just love it. It's fun. It's exciting. Like I told them, it's like a second job. I'm passionate about it. It's a very passionate job for me. I could not give it up even if I wanted to. Like, I would feel incomplete. So, but yeah, I mean, my interest in it was from TV shows and being interested in the paranormal. So, and now that I've been in the group, I've had things happen to me. So, but it comes with it. It's just part of the job,
That's usually what happens once you get involved. You're either hooked or you're disgusted and you leave. Yeah, it's one or the other.
And when I first started, I was like, I don't want to be by myself. I was scared. I wanted something I wanted to do, but I was still scared to do it. And because I was always afraid something would come home with me, and but when I first started, I didn't want to be by myself. I was scared. I always had a flashlight in my hand. Dwayne would always get on to everybody because we always had flashlights in our hands. Because I would never want to turn my flashlight off. But now I'm proud of myself, not brag or anything, but I can go in a room by myself. I've advanced so much more in that category, but still, it's still scary sometimes. I will admit it.
Oh yeah.
But
and she's also our equipment is heck too.
Yeah, I get all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I tend to scare people because I tend to not turn on a flashlight and walk around in the dark.
Now I don't do it as much anymore. It's just. But when I first started, oh my gosh, I was so scared. I didn't want to be by myself. I was like, someone better be next to me. I better not be if I'm in a room by myself, you're gonna hear me screaming. But it's still scary. I tell people, the fans, we have fans that watch us, and you're like, you're watching through a TV screen because I used to be in your position, and you thought, oh, that's easy, that's cool. But when you're actually there,
it's a whole different,
totally different thing. Because I was like in their position, watching it through a TV or a phone, And I'm like, y'all, it's just totally different than what you think. So, but I love it. I wouldn't give it up.
I still get like that at certain locations. Like we went to this old nursing home, and I'm one that if we can go during the daytime and I can check it out while it's light outside, I'm okay. But we showed up to this nursing home.
It kind of creeped me out too. So.
It was really dark. The door was standing open when we got there. It was raining, and I'm the scaredy cat still of the group for the most part. Like Lauren said, she's outgrown a lot of it, and I'm not like that on all of them, but certain ones I'm like, Lord, you got to go sit in the car with me. I got to ground. My anxiety is through the roof right now. Like we've got to stop for a minute.
So since she brought that up, okay, granted, I chose to stay out there. It was me, Lauren, and Sherika in a cemetery known as Shiloh Cemetery, which recently we actually discovered some of the history on it that was pretty crazy. There's actually a young girl that was hung there for accusing a priest of raping her, which come to find out later on that he actually had.
He wasn't a priest. He was the preacher.
A preacher of a little church. And he had been molesting the little girls and such. We did actually get confirmation through research and such of that on actual news documentation and such. So we go out in the cemetery, and Sherika's creeped out right off the